Hello, everybody. We are back with episode number 2 of the FocusFit Wellness podcast here. I might come up with a different name. It's kind of long. But anyway, thanks for joining me again here. We got some good information to go over here today. And let's jump right into it. Apologize if I'm looking over here because I got my notes here. I made lots of notes for today's podcast. And today I'm going to talk all about the mindset. So what do I mean by the mindset? So if you are just getting ready to start your healthy journey here, or if you're trying to get back onto your healthy journey, I believe that the number one place to start is with getting your mind straight about what to expect, what is to come, and how you're going to continue on this long journey. Because that's what it is. This is a lifelong journey to being healthy overall. And I believe that most people usually, and I don't say weight loss, right? I mean, why do I not say weight loss? Well, it's because usually weight loss is tied to a very specific time. Maybe it's an event coming up. It's a wedding dress or a suit that you want to get into for a wedding coming up, or for somebody's maybe it's a big party, whatever is going on. Or if you have some kind of competitive event, maybe you compete in some kind of athletic endeavor or a physical fitness type contest, and you need to be on weight for a very specific on a very specific date. So I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about weight loss, although a lot of these principles will apply to those topics as well. But really, you're looking at from today moving forward. This is an ongoing, lifelong path that you're going to be on, and there's going to be hills and valleys and all these obstacles in between. So what is the best way to navigate all these things? And for me, the thing that I've really narrowed it down to the most, starting off, and even along the way as you continue to get to go through, is the mindset. And what do I mean by that? Well, there's going to be a lot of changes, and there should be a lot of changes. If you're like me, when I was extremely unhealthy, I was, almost 50 pounds heavier than I am today. And at that time, what I thought about my overall health, what I thought about what nutrition or anything else in that realm, fitness, um, it was obviously an unhealthy path. That's what got me to that point. And what I needed to do is refocus my mind on what was to come. And what do I mean? It's planning, uh, being on a healthy path, especially when you're starting from from a place where you have maybe it feels insurmountable. Maybe it's the last 10 pounds you have to lose. Maybe you're kind of in the middle stages of your life, and you think, I got to make a change here if I want to have a long lasting life with my kids and my grandkids. You have to wrap your mind around the fact that you need to manage your time better, because as you're starting to develop new healthy habits, there's a big change. There's a big change in your day. And a big portion of your day, and I shouldn't say a big portion, but a very specific portion of your day is going to come down to planning and prepping your meal. It's going to come to doing certain shopping. Maybe you do it twice a week, and maybe you do it every other day. Because obviously the foods, I shouldn't say obviously, as you will learn, the foods that you're going to need to buy, they're not foods that have a long shelf life. Most of them, maybe things like rice and beans, sure, but most of the foods that you're going to be prepping, preparing, and then ultimately consuming is going to be fresh fruits and vegetables. It's going to be lean meats. Now, the meats you can freeze, and even some of the fruits and vegetables you can, and you can buy frozen berries and things like that to keep things lasting a lot longer. And that's one of the changes that I've made more recently, is buying frozen berries, heating them up in the microwave for a little bit, and then putting them, inside a Greek yogurt or my breakfast bowl in the morning with oat bran. So all these different things you have to be prepared for. And everybody always tells me, yeah, I would love to lose weight. I would love to get in shape. I would love to be healthier, but I just don't have the time. And when I hear that, what I really hear is I haven't been willing to make the time and figure out where in my schedule I can fit in being a healthier individual. That's what I hear, because everybody really does have some time. Now, Is it going to take time away from something else you're doing right now? Absolutely, it is. It's going to take time away from TV shows. It's going to take time away from maybe even sleep, depending on how much sleep you get right now. You definitely still want to get your 7 to 9 hours of sleep. But if you're getting 10 hours plus, then maybe you got to shave an hour of that to shopping or prepping and things like that. Maybe it's going to take time away from other hobbies that you have. Maybe it's going to take time away from just kind of sitting around and not doing a whole lot. I personally have a calendar. I have two calendars. I have one I keep on my phone, and I have one I keep on my wall inside the hallway here in my home. And I use these calendars to help prepare how I'm going to go about my day, how I'm going to go about my week, so I don't get caught off guard. I don't get caught in a position where I don't have healthy food options to eat. And I make sure that that's never the case. Even if I have to stop maybe at a restaurant or even a grocery store or convenience store, I know there's food that I can grab that's not going to put me off my path and is going to give me the nutrients that I need for that specific time to make sure that I still live a healthy lifestyle. And I'll dive into some of those foods here in a little bit. I'm not going to go over everything. That's a whole different topic in itself. But this is all about the mindsets, preparing yourself, preparing your day, preparing your week, preparing your everything that you do. And it may feel like a job, a secondary job, or a third job if you already have two. If you're lucky enough these days to have two, it's going to feel like a lot more work. Because guess what? It is. Anybody who tells you it's not going to be additional work, especially at the beginning, is lying to you. It's going to be more work, I promise you. But you know what else is more work? Having to take medications and go to the doctor all the time because you have heart issues, because you have diabetes type issues, because you're having issues with other organs and maybe even your muscle atrophy and things like that because you're not taking care of your body. That takes extra time as well. So you got to pick which one you want to do. For me, I chose the former because it's a much more fulfilling lifestyle. And I never wanted to be someone that at any stage of my life, barring any crazy accidents or anything out of my control, I never wanted to be someone who couldn't participate in life, in anything in life, whether it's going for a hike with family and friends, whether it's going on trips and having any kind of issues with that, or just every day getting up all the time and being my best every day for my family, for my friends, for my workplace, everything involved. I want to be at my optimum level possible, no matter what. Doesn't matter. No excuses. No, well, this happened or this is unfair or I don't have time. We've got to figure out a way to make time. So that's number one. Look at your schedule. Look and really look at it. Look at every single 15-minute increment if you have to and break it down. Is this going to take time away from other things? Absolutely. But you have to start somewhere. You have to get your brain on the right track of knowing that this is all worth it. This is all worthwhile. It's worthwhile for you, for your kids, for your grandkids, for your spouse, for everybody around you. They're going to want you to be at your optimum level because if you can't contribute anything, if you can't participate in all the things that you want to do and take your kids to the park and chase them around and have fun and throw the ball with your son, whatever it is, if you can't do those things because you're physically unable to do them, that's a travesty for me. I never wanted to be like that, and I was never going to allow that. So that's why I decided to make these types of changes in my life. So look at your calendar and pick a couple days that you're going to shop for all the right foods. And like I said, I'll go into a little bit of that today, but really that's going to be long, on a different podcast. But pick the right food. Pick a couple days that you're going to plan out you're going to plan your meals for the week and say, okay, this is what I need to buy. And then these are the days that I'm going to sit down and get everything ready to go. I'm going to prep my food. I'm going to chop it. I'm going to pre-prep it, meaning I'll go into that here in a little bit. But you're going to get everything ready so that way you don't have to stop and think. Everything's kind of grab and go, especially if you're running behind. We all have those things. We wake up late. Maybe the kids are putting us behind our schedule a little bit. Maybe our spouse is putting us behind a little bit. Someone's not feeling well, so you didn't have time to make something in the morning. If you can plan around those things and have different types of foods that are healthy options ready to go for you, or already know, hey, in a pinch, I can go to this restaurant, I can go to this grocery store, I can go to this convenience store, and they're going to have some whole cashews or almonds or peanuts for me. I can get fresh fruit. Stop by, pick up a couple things of fresh fruit, banana and apple and orange, whatever, whatever are your favorites. And I can pick that up real quick, wash it off, and boom, it's ready to consume for me. I'll get my instant sugars for energy, simple sugars that come from the fruits. I'll have my energy. It's has a lot of vitamins depending on which fruit you pick. So there's all these things that if we're prepared ahead of time, we don't run into these kinds of problems. And these are the things that trip us up and get in our way, where we kind of throw our hands up in the air and go, you know what? It's too hard. I can't do it. I can't. It's too much work. It is. It is a lot of work. I'm not going to say it's too much work, but it is a lot of work. But the good news is, at the beginning, it's a lot of work. As you get better at it and you plan better and you start thinking ahead, it becomes a second nature for you. You start to think about, hey, when on my way home from work, I got to stop at the store and pick up some mushrooms, some broccoli, and some zucchini. I'm going to make this veggie mix I saw online today. Whether you find different recipes from friends on Instagram or Facebook, whatever it is, there's so many great recipes out there that you can try that maybe spark your interest. Be creative. Think think about things. If you're at work and you have a desk job that you can kind of sit around and think about things from time to time, think about different vegetables and meats and fish and beans and fruits and all these things that go well together. Look up, if you have an Instagram page, you can follow uh, certain hashtags like healthy recipes and see what other people are doing, and that's going to help you think about different ideas, because maybe all we know is chicken, veggies, and rice. um, Chicken, asparagus, and whatever, tilapia, and whatever it is, right? There's so many other foods. There's so many within our program in the Dolce Diet system. We have somewhere upwards of around 60 or so healthy different food options to put together amazing meals. Amazing meals. I never, ever, ever, ever feel like I'm ever missing out on delicious food. Not once. All the food that I make at home, all the stuff that I post online, all the stuff that I make for my family, is delicious food. We never feel like we're missing out. And it could be breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts, snacks, whatever it is, we got it here in the house. Or we're one or two ingredients away from making exactly what we need. But that's only because I've figured out how to plan. I figured out how much time it's going to take to get certain types of meals or snacks, whatever, put together, whether it's my homemade trail mix or whether it's baked apples I have for later and I make extra ones that way. I put them in the refrigerator, and when I'm ready, boom, pop it in the microwave for a little bit, heat it up, and maybe put some almond butter on the side, and boom, there's a great snack. Pre-workout snack, post-workout snack. Maybe that's your dessert if you're someone who really really likes to have sweets at the end of the day. There's so many great options, but it's only because my I've planned around my schedule. I'm lucky enough that I have a pretty set schedule with my work, my 9 to 5 job. It's Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and that's very very consistent. Every so often, maybe there's a monkey wrench thrown in there. I have my training schedule. I have the stuff I do with my family, and I work around that. And but like I said, I have a calendar. I use my phone calendar to make sure that things don't get missed. That I have a shopping list that I keep all the time on my phone. It's through a shopping list app, and I use that to make sure that I keep track of all the things that I need. If I'm getting low on eggs, if I'm getting low on ground turkey, then I make sure that goes right back on the shopping list. So every day on my way home from work, I know that, hey, if I need to stop at the store, what am I low on? Boom, there it is, already there. I know exactly what I need. But that just comes with planning. All about getting the right mindset. Now, that's the planning phase. And, you know, part of what I do as a nutrition coach is to help people sit down with them one-on-one, whether it's in person, if they live here in Las Vegas, or if it's on a Zoom call, if someone lives elsewhere and they want me to kind of walk through them and outline their calendar and their schedule with them, and then plan some meals around that calendar and that schedule, I'm more than happy to do it, and that's what I do. So I'm not going to go into too many details about that because that's a whole another side and actually part of my business. But that is the general idea: is to operate from a calendar. Most of us are not smart enough to keep it all in our heads and keep it all straight and make sure nothing gets missed. So work off a schedule, work off a calendar, know that it's going to be additional time and energy you're going to have to put into it. That's number one, 100%. Now, transitioning that into what's the next step? What kind of foods do I pick, Eric? What do I need? I hear this, I hear that. Carbs are bad. This is good. This is bad. I gotta eliminate, calories and eat only certain times of the day. Here's what I will tell you. Based on my system, on the Dolce diet system, what we talk about is eating whole earth grown nutrients in wide varieties every 2 to 4 hours based on your activity for the day. Okay. That is the general overview of how we look at food and how you, everyday, all of us, everyday people, how we have to start looking at food. We have to look at it differently. We can no longer look at it as just convenience or what sounds good. This is what my tummy's telling me I want. This is what my mouth is salivating for when I see a commercial for fried chicken or Pizza Hut or whatever it is we see on TV. It can no longer be about that, especially if you're someone who's just barely starting your healthy journey and you're at a place where you got to lose 60, 70, 80 pounds or more. um, you have to look at food differently. It can no longer be about only pleasure. Now, that being said, like I just mentioned a bit ago, I don't ever feel like I'm sacrificing flavor and taste with the meals that I eat. But it is different. There are differences. And as you go along, if you do decide to make that choice and say, I look at food as fuel for my body to give my body, not just my muscles, not just um, not just the outside of my body, because we get so fixated on what we look like, but the inside. What do my organs need? What does my brain need? What does my heart need? What does my blood need? Right? These are all things. They need vitamins, they need nutrients, they need minerals. Okay, that's how we build our meal plans, are based around vitamins, minerals, micronutrients first. Then we look at the macros. Then we look at the total calorie count. But when we work from the ground up, okay, that's what's going to give us the better overall long-term health. Not just, oh, I want to lose 5 pounds this week, or I want to lose 10 pounds, the next couple weeks because I want to fit in this dress, I want to get in this suit. That's not how we look at food. We look at food as, what does my body need to function at the most optimum level? And I don't mean optimum like, oh, you're trying to be a professional athlete. No, 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 no. You don't have to be. But what you do have to be is a professional person. You have a job, you want to be professional. You're a spouse, you want to be, I know it's a personal thing, but you want to be the best spouse you can be. You want to be the best parent you can be. You want to be the best friend you can be. If your friend needs you for something and you don't have the energy to help them, man, that's not good. If you can't perform at your job at the best level to give yourself the best opportunity to do well and be successful, that's not good. If you don't have to make time to play with your kids and to spend time with your spouse, that's not good. If you just don't have the energy, that's not a good thing. You want your body to function at optimum level at all times. Well, how do you do that? You have to look at food differently. Your body, your organs, everything. It's like an engine. You have to feed it the right fuel. You put the wrong fuel or even no fuel in the system, what happens? It shuts down on you. And sometimes it shuts down slowly. And then sometime in your 50s or 60s or whenever it is, sometimes for some people it's their late 30s or 40s, they go to the doctor for something, the doctor gives them a checkup, something looks off, they give them some extra testing, and it comes back and says, you know what, you're pre-diabetic, or you are you're type 1, type 2 diabetes, or you know what, your blood pressure is really, really high, and you could have some real heart problems here in the very near future. And you think, well, all of a sudden, why is this happening? It's not all of a sudden. It's been going on for years and years and years. You've been giving your body no nutrients, no good fuel to get to where it needs to be. And now it's starting to shut down on you. That's what's going on. So that's what you have to wrap your head around. Wrap your head around the fact that food is not just pleasure for you to taste. It's not that. Because usually when all that mouth pleasure is over with, when you get done going, it's so delicious, what happens? I can't move. I can't do anything. I can't get up. I don't have the energy. And you feel like this lead ball is in your stomach. I've been there many times, my friends, many times, too many times. And um, that's not part of my life anymore. I won't let it be because I know the repercussions of eating that way, of looking at food as only just delicious, pleasure for my taste buds in my mouth only, not for what the rest of my body, your taste buds all through here are being satisfied for a couple minutes, 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, maybe let's call it an hour. Let's give it an hour. Maybe you get an hour of pure pleasure in your mouth, and that's great. But then after that, for the other 23 hours of the day, all of those lack of nutrients, or even worse, destructive things that are in that food that you just took in. Maybe it's, you know, uh, fats, unhealthy fats, processed sugars. Maybe it's and just the lack of the right nutrients to where your body can't function properly. And even worse, maybe even potentially causing heart disease, uh, blood sugar problems, gout. I mean, there's so many different diseases that are 100% associated with just having a poor diet. So make sure that you really understand as you start this journey, as you start your path. I want to be healthy. I'm ready to get started. Understand that you have to look at food differently. It is different than what you've always looked at it from before. Or if you're someone who used to be healthy, usually it's at a younger age. So even back then, you kind of got away with some bad food choices. So the way you look at food is going to be very, very different from this day moving forward. The day that you decide, I want to be healthy, and I'm going to make sure that it's my lifelong goal to make sure that I get healthy and stay healthy. You have to look at food different. That's just the way it is. Now, you can be mad at me for being the messenger, but it's what it is. I'm not going to lie to you. And now I enjoy it. I love the way I look at food. But I will tell you, at the beginning, it was frustrating, so frustrating. You start learning how to read labels, and you're like, "What is it? This is crap. I can't eat this anymore." As you're going through the grocery store, it feels like everything you pick up, and you start reading. Nope, can't eat that. Nope, can't drink that. Nope, can't have that. Oh, gotta stay away from that. What the heck can I eat? What can I eat? Well, that's what I'm here for. I can help tell you what to eat. Fresh fruits and vegetables, lean meats, wild caught fish, free range chicken. There's a lot of great, delicious foods. And there's a lot of great spices and things that you can use to flavor the food that are also very, very good for you in the micronutrient area. Things that your body needs: magnesium, potassium, so many great calcium, iron, so many great things that are out there for you. And these are the things that are the building, they're going to help your cells. That's what we do. We talk about helping you at the cellular level so that it gives your body the best opportunity to function at the highest level possible. Now, I have some friends, and myself included, that we are athletes. We're part-time athletes. We all have full-time jobs and full-time families, but we do train on the side and we do compete on the side. And in these competitions, none of us want to lose. We don't want to compete and go, whatever happens, happens. No, we want to compete at the highest level that we can compete at properly. I want to do the best that I can. Well, if I'm going to give myself the best opportunity, I have to give my body all the right foods, all the right nutrients to perform at that highest level, no matter what. The right amount of sleep, the right amount of water and hydration, and definitely the right amount of food. And like I said, that's what I'm here for. That's what I do. I will sit down with you and we will go over exactly what your body needs for the type of exertion you put out through any given day, whether there's a workout attached to that day or it's just working through the work week, coming home and taking care of your family. Your body needs fuel to do all those things. Now it needs different types of fuel for different types of activities. But hey, that's what I'm here for. Anyway, back on track. Mindset. You will have to look at food differently. You will have to look at the way you prepare your food differently. And I've heard things like, and forgive me if you're somebody who knows me and you've said this to me, yes, I'm probably talking about you, but I hear these things like, well, I'm trying to eat healthy. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Does that mean you're reaching for the healthy food and someone knocks it out of your hand and shoves a Pop Tart in your face? I don't know what that means. Okay. There is no trying to eat healthy. What that to me, what that really means is I want to be healthier. I would love to pick healthier food choices, but I haven't made the time to do those things. I haven't made time to figure out what I need and to go to the store and buy all the foods that I need to be healthier. That's what that's what that sounds like to me. But I'm trying to eat healthier is the wrong mindset to have. What you should be telling yourself is, how am I going to fit being a healthier individual into my current life the way it is right now? What am I willing to give up? What am I willing to do? What am I willing to sacrifice to get myself where I need to be? That's the real question. Okay. So I'm trying to eat healthier. No good. Okay. That's the wrong mindset. What are some other things that people will say? Um, People will say, "Well, yeah, I had a salad the other day." Anytime the subject of health comes up, they're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I had this great salad the other day. Yeah, I had all these great vegetables in there, and the dressing was amazing. It had this real sweetness to it." And I'm thinking, well, probably because it had a lot of sugar. I don't always say that, but probably because the salad dressing had a lot of sugar. A lot of dressings, unfortunately, are not the healthiest. The best thing to do is to make your own with maybe some olive oil and some fresh squeezed lemon. There are some healthier options for salad dressing um, that are out there, and I'll cover those in a different podcast as well. So, but that's not the right mindset either. Is, well, I'll have a salad or something every now and then, and therefore I'm healthy. That's not it. Um, the other thing is these the idea of cheat meals, or what my here at the Dolce Diet, what they call them is they call them earn meals, and however you want to look at it. Okay, what it is I want to be able to eat the pizza that I like to go eat. I want to be able to eat the steak and lobster wherever when I go out to name whatever restaurant. I want to be able to eat the sushi. I want to be able to eat the whatever it is that you feel like is kind of your indulgent meal. You want to give yourself a reason to do that, right? That's what we all want, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. However, what is wrong is the wrong mindset of, hey, I had a decent breakfast, I had a decent lunch, so now I can pig out on whatever I want to for dinner and it's all good. Promise you it's not. And then you wonder why nothing changes, your clothes still fit the same. If anything, you have to go to a larger size. And you're thinking, well, I work out kind of a couple times a week, whatever that means. And yet I'm not making any progress. Well, because you're not really doing anything. That's what it is. I hate to be the one break it to you, but I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you, you're not really doing anything. There's no cheat meals at the end of a half-ass kind of day, beginning part of the day meal plan. That means nothing. You're not doing anything. You're not even offsetting the the first couple okay meals that you had earlier. That's not the right mindset. The mindset, this is a long-term proposition here. This is a lifelong journey. The reason why it's called a healthy lifestyle, because it's for life, forever. That's what it means. It doesn't mean a couple decent meals and then I can pick out on whatever I want and eat cookies for dessert. That's not what it means. Okay. If you really want to make a change, if you want to be healthier, if look, the losing the weight aspect is the side effect of being healthy. That's what it is. You will lose weight. you will get to a healthy weight and to a healthy body fat mass if you're a adult male, in around 15% body fat or so, or less, maybe 18% or less, depending on what your genetics are and things like that. But you will get there if you make healthy choices long term, every day, all day long. Okay, but you will not get there by thinking, well, I can have a hard boiled egg for breakfast, and then a salad for lunch, and then a decent snack, maybe a piece of fruit for a snack, and then I'm gonna have Little Caesars pizza for dinner because I earned it. And that one day I earned it. No, you didn't. You didn't earn anything. And if you're only going to reward yourself with food, with bad food, processed sugars, terrible fat, and empty calories and bad carbs. If that's how you're going to reward yourself, then what's the point in getting started anyway? There is no point. You're playing a mind game with yourself. That's what it is. Hey, I'm trying to be healthy on this side, so I can eat this at the end of the day. I'm trying to eat this so at the end of the week I can have this one day where I just pig out all day on pancakes and whatever. That's not the right way to look at it, and you won't get to where you need to go. I promise you that. I've tried that. I had that mindset for a long time, and I didn't get anywhere. And I was just tossing my arms up in the air like everybody else, going, "Hey, I don't know what's going on. I'm pretty healthy," but I wasn't. I was lying to myself. So that part right there, that's another thing you have to come to terms with. Is everything that you eat, you have to look at it as fuel, and you have to change the way you look at food. You have to change the way you consume it. You can't fry it anymore. You can't dip it in batter. You can't sprinkle it with sugar. You can't, um, you know, have one healthy ingredient and the rest be all bad ingredients. You can't do that anymore, only because, well, that's what tastes good to me. Well, what tastes good to you is what got you to where you are now. That's the simple truth. I mean, trust me, I've been there. I used to buy all the Little Debbie snack cakes all the time, and I would eat 3 in one night for dessert. Why? Because I thought I deserved it. Because it tasted good. It made me feel good for a little bit when I consumed them. And then later on, I felt like crap. What it is. And we can all pretend that that's not what's going on, but that's what's going on. We have to look at the food very, very differently. Now, I will say, after 3 to 5 days of really being healthy, really making healthy choices, and the food's going to taste different. I promise you, it will taste different, but you'll find ways to make it delicious for you. Season it with certain seasonings, have certain side dishes with it that complement it really well, that you really enjoy. Certain vegetables that you really like. Maybe it's doing a sweet potato mash and you like the sweetness from the sweet potatoes and a little bit of grass-fed butter on there. It's perfect. You get some healthy fats, you get some omega-3s, you'll get some delicious carbohydrates that's going to fuel you for the day. There's lots of good stuff in there. Maybe with a 4-ounce lean piece of fish or lean piece of chicken. So there's all these different options, and you season it really good, maybe with some rosemary, some thyme. I like, I'm Mexican, so I like some Mexican seasonings with cumin, a little bit of chili powder, some salt, some pepper. Oh, amazing! Okay, lots of ways to enjoy all these delicious foods. But the good thing is your taste buds will change. You will start to crave the healthier options. You get some Greek yogurt, put some fresh berries in there, maybe drizzle a little bit of honey on top, give it just a little bit of extra sweetness. Still good for you. Okay. At first, it's going to taste different. I promise you, it will taste different than the Dannon or the Yoplait or the other yogurts that are just packed full of added sugar that they put in there. Okay, it's going to taste different, but after a few days, 3 to 5 days, your taste buds will start to change, and even better, your gut, all the bacteria in your stomach that starts to digest the food and sends a signal to your brain that says, hey, these are the foods that I want. This is the foods that we need. Send us more of these types of foods, sends that signal. That's going to start changing. And all of a sudden, you're going to be like, you know what sounds good? Is a cucumber. I say this because I just made it today. Is a cucumber salad. Fresh cucumber, fresh tomatoes, fresh avocados, cilantro on top, sprinkle with a little bit of lemon juice. It's amazing. That's what sounds good. Not a Pop Tart, not some other product, not macaroni and cheese, Kraft macaroni and cheese, or any of that other garbage, all that processed stuff. Tell you what, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. And this is something that I don't think gets talked about enough. This is something very, very important. For all these companies that make foods, I don't want to necessarily call all of them out because I don't think they're inherently bad companies. But for all the Coca-Colas and the Pepsis and the McDonald's, all the fast food, all the companies that make processed foods that are in a box, easy to grab and easy to make, make them in 2 minutes and all that kind of garbage. All the companies that make these types of foods and these types of drinks for us to consume, they have to grow every single year. They want to do more sales and profits every single year. Well, the only way they can do that is by feeding us more of their crap. That's the only way, right? They can try to sell to more people. That's why they go worldwide and sell to other countries, but they have to sell more. They have to deal more of their drugs, their poison into our body for them to be financially successful. How crazy is that? That blows my mind. When I thought about that one day, I said, these companies are constantly trying to grow, and they're not trying to come up with the healthiest options of maybe foods and drinks that they used to sell to us. No, 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 no. In fact, they're going the other way. How can I get people more addicted, more hooked on my foods than ever before? Because, hey, we got profits to hit. Hey, we got shareholders to answer to. That's what they worry about. Not how am I going to help people become more productive people and healthier overall. That means nothing. We have to take that on ourselves. That's our responsibility. But when I thought about that, that blew my mind. I'm like, they want to sell us more. If Coca-Cola could get me to drink Coke every single day or 2 times a day, great for them. That's why all the commercials are fun and cute and exciting and have a nice little message to it. But at the end of the day, they're selling me sugar water. That's syrup. That's what they're selling me. I don't want that. I don't want that in my body. I know what that's going to do. Does that mean I can't have a Coke a couple times a year when I go to the movies, when I'm out with some friends, when I'm doing whatever? No, that's not what that means. But I'm sure as heck not going to let them or any other company poison my body every single day, all day, so they can have bigger profits. You know how much of those profits I get? Zero. And even if I own a portion of the company, if I own shares in that company, it's not worth the return on the investment, because the return on my personal investment inside my body and my brain and all my different organs, it's not worth it. I've seen what happens to people when they're on constant medication. They have 6 or 7 different doctors they have to go to all the time. They can never have any hobbies because they're always at the doctor or they're at home and they don't have the capacity to go out and do the things they like to do. So, being mindfully aware of what is going on out there in the food world, knowing where to get the healthiest food options available, knowing how to plan, setting up the schedule, looking at food in a way of this is the fuel that my body needs, and how to break all that down. Well, that's what I'm here for. Send me a DM, send me a message, reach out to me on all the different social media platforms that you see this video being posted on, and I'm more than happy to talk to you and do a consultation about what your goals are and how we're going to get you on the right path. But I will tell you, just like in this video, getting your mind right, getting your brain straight on what is to come, the changes you will have to make. It's going to be hard, I promise you, but it's not going to be any harder than the doctor visits down the road, taking the medications down the road, and all the other crap that comes with having an unhealthy lifestyle. This way, this option is much better, and you get used to it. It gets easier and it gets fun. When I'm in the kitchen cooking and prepping and planning, it's therapeutic for me. I love it. I love seeing and trying new recipes. I love when a friend of mine said, "Hey, have you tried this? Check this one out," and they send it to me. I look at it and go, "Wow, that looks delicious. I'm going to try that." Or if you go to a restaurant and maybe there's a certain place you do enjoy going and there's a certain meal that you like to get. All of a sudden you start thinking, if I substitute this instead of that, if I use ground turkey instead of ground beef or whatever they're using, if I use Greek yogurt instead of sour cream, if I use feta cheese or goat cheese instead of shredded cheddar cheese, I can make this a healthy meal. I do that all the time. But not only does it help me in the health part of my life, it helps me in my financial part of my life. I spend way less money at restaurants these days. And there's a lot of great restaurants. I live here in Las Vegas. We're the home of some of the greatest restaurants in the world, all here within a 10-mile radius. I love going out to restaurants, but I love myself that more. I love my pocketbook. I like having, extra money to do other fun things as well. So that's what I have to say here this week. I hope you enjoy it. I know I was very direct and I was kind of a little more in your face about what is to come on this long-term healthy lifestyle journey, but it's because I believe this is what we all need. I know that's what I needed. I needed a big wake-up call, and being part of the Dolce diet is really what helped me. And the way Mike puts it out there, he's even more direct than I am. But you have to get your mind right. You have to be ready to make big changes in your life with your schedule, your planning, and that goes for everything in your life. Your kids, your spouse, everybody has to be on board, or you have to let them know, look, this time now on these days is dedicated to this. This is what I'm doing, and I'm doing it for all of us. If you're going to, plan meals for your whole family, but you're definitely doing it for yourself, and you have to make yourself a priority. Because if you don't, we all get older. No one beats the clock, and your body will deteriorate faster and more abruptly if you don't take care of it. That I can promise you. All I can do is try to pass on the information and help you get on that and stay on that path. That's what I do as a coach, as a nutrition coach. That is what I do. So, me personally, it's been going great since I've started this process myself. I'm down about 10 pounds here over the past 6 weeks. So I'm averaging about a pound and a half a week, which is very, very good, very consistent, and the right way to lose weight. Not trying to starve yourself, not trying to cut out all the carbohydrates and then you have no energy to do anything. It's about losing the right kind of weight and still giving your body all the nutrients you need to function at a high level. So that's how my journey is going. It's going great, and I'm steadily decreasing on my weight. I'm increasing on my strength. I'm increasing on my output throughout the day. I'm more cognitive at work. I have more energy at work. People come all the time, come to me and say, "You have so much energy. How do you do it?" And as they see me eating all my snacks, my healthy snacks and things like that, my almonds with cranberries, a little bit of dark chocolate, things like that. So if you want to reach out to me and talk about, go into the depth about what you need to do for your goals, for your personal journey, and see about hiring me as your coach, please do. Please like the video if you do enjoy the content. Give me a big thumbs up, and that lets me know, lets YouTube know that this is a good channel. You enjoy the content, and you're engaged. So I appreciate that. You can send me feedback through my page as well. You can send it back to my Instagram account or through my Facebook page. So thank you guys all for listening. I have more stuff to come here, obviously. So many different topics to talk about. Next week, I haven't decided yet what I'm going to go into, um, but I will do an announcement sometime later this week. And once again, I appreciate you guys for listening. This is Eric with the Focus Fit Wellness Podcast, talking about the mindset. Get your mind right. I'm watching. I'm ready. I'm here to help you. So thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next week.